It all starts with an absence. That morning firmness, the one that used to show up without warning, simply doesn't come. You wake up like always, but something feels off. You get up, get dressed, have your coffee, and try not to overthink it. Must be stress, just a bad night's sleep, and life goes on. But the next day, it happens again, and the day after that, once more. That's when your body starts to speak. No pain, no wound, no alarm, just a signal. Small, but clear. The blood that used to flow easily now meets resistance. The vitality that used to be automatic now demands effort. And the most concerning part, the root of all this is often a gland no bigger than a walnut, the prostate, silently inflaming day by day. Few men make the connection. They blame testosterone, age, routine. But the truth is, an inflamed prostate affects your sleep, your mood, your energy, and yes, your firmness. It compresses, blocks, interferes, and little by little, your confidence fades, without you even realizing when it began. But what if I told you there's one fruit, just one, that when used correctly, can reduce prostate inflammation and restore penile circulation in less than 24 hours? This isn't a miracle promise. It's physiology. It's a natural food with powerful anti-inflammatory and vasodilating property, already shown to deliver visible results on the very first day, even in men with advanced symptoms of prostate enlargement. That's what today's video is about. An accessible solution, no pills, no surgery, backed by science. And above all, something that can bring back firmness, peaceful sleep, and the self-confidence you thought was gone for good. But before we go on, let me ask you something in the comments. Are you the kind of man who waits until everything falls apart before taking action? Or do you prefer to act while there's still time to fix it? If you usually delay, type waited. If you already understand that taking care of yourself is urgent, write act. And take a moment now to check if you're already subscribed to the channel. That way, you won't miss the next videos with clear, natural solutions to restore your intimate health and masculine power. No fluff. Right in the center of your body, there's a gland that rarely comes up in conversation. Small, discreet, about the size of a walnut. But it holds a disproportionate amount of control over your well-being, your energy, and the firmness you feel, or used to feel. That gland is called the prostate. It sits just below your bladder, wrapped around the upper part of the urethra, the channel where both urine and semen pass through. And it's that exact location that makes it a silent control center. When it's healthy, you don't even notice it. But when it starts to enlarge, even slightly, everything changes. The channel narrows. Urine struggles to pass. The bladder works harder. The stream weakens. Sleep is interrupted by constant trips to the bathroom. And over time, blood also struggles to circulate freely in the pelvic region. The result? The system that once worked naturally starts to fail. And even though desire is still there, the physical response doesn't show up, or shows up halfway. Along with it come frustration, embarrassment, doubt. Many men blame aging. Others think they're just too tired, or that it's normal to lose potency over time. But what few realize is that in most cases, the problem isn't in the mind, or in hormones, or in attraction. It's in this silent gland, slowly becoming the epicenter of dysfunction. Prostate inflammation, known as benign prostatic hyperplasia, affects over 50% of men over 60. And no, it doesn't just affect urination. It directly impacts erection quality, not just due to physical blockage, but because blood flow around the pelvis becomes impaired. And erection, first and foremost, is a vascular event. It depends on flow, pressure, and open space for blood to fill the erectile tissues. If the path is blocked, it doesn't matter how much you want it. There's no response. It's like pressing the gas pedal with the handbrake still on. And here's the central point. You can take stimulants. You can try quick fixes. But if you don't treat what's pressing on your urethra, your bladder, and your circulation, you're just kicking the problem down the road. That's why the fruit we're about to reveal in this video works so fast, because it doesn't mask symptoms. It targets the root cause, prostate, inflammation, and restricted penile blood flow. And when you address this control center, everything around it begins to improve. If this is making sense to you, and if that missing morning firmness has started to worry you, know this fruit might be your first step, but it doesn't have to be your only one. In my digital book, Rediscovering Intimacy, Healthy Sexuality After 60, I've gathered practical strategies to restore potency, regain confidence, and rebuild connection in your relationship, based on nutrition, circulation, emotional posture, and prostate care. It's a direct, no-nonsense guide designed for men like you. Men who've realized the issue isn't age, but neglecting the right signals. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment. If you feel it's time to turn this around, start there. For years, it was underestimated, seen as something feminine, too sweet, or simply ignored. It was associated with diets, light desserts, or juice recipes. But what no one ever told you is that this fruit contains bioactive compounds capable of shrinking the prostate and restoring penile firmness, with a speed that even surprises the most skeptical doctors. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't come in golden capsules, and it doesn't have a complicated name. But it works exactly where conventional medications often fail, in the silent inflammation that blocks blood flow and weakens your potency. And the most impressive part? The first signs of improvement can appear in less than 24 hours. Men with weak urine streams, waking up multiple times during the night, and increasingly rare erections, have reported clear relief, stronger flow, and spontaneous firmness returning, simply by introducing this fruit into their daily routine. The secret lies in a substance found in its pulp and skin, a natural anti-inflammatory that helps modulate prostate tissue, unclog the urinary tract, and improve oxygenation in the erectile tissues. And more than that, it has a direct effect on the blood vessels in the pelvic area, relaxing arterial walls and allowing blood to circulate more freely, which, for mature men, can mean the difference between constant frustration and restored vitality. And there's more. This fruit also supports liver function, helping the body better metabolize sex hormones, balance cholesterol levels, and reduce systemic inflammation, all of which are key for maintaining a healthy and active intimate life after 60. It's curious how something so accessible, found in markets and fruit stands everywhere, ended up forgotten, while expensive and temporary solutions took center stage. Maybe because it doesn't come with exaggerated promises, or maybe because when something natural actually works, it threatens entire systems built around daily pills. This fruit isn't hidden in exotic forests. It doesn't depend on secret formulas. You'll find it at the grocery store, at the farmer's market, sometimes already in your own kitchen, and what it can do for your body begins within the first 24 hours. If what you've heard so far makes sense to you, that means you value real, clear, no-nonsense information. So hit the like button on this video right now. That's how you help us spread this message to more men who deserve to know about this option before they turn to more difficult paths. And get ready. In the next segment, you'll see what actually happens inside your body in the first 24 hours after consuming this fruit, step by step. Picture this. You're about to eat the fruit. It seems ordinary, just a simple food. But what happens next is anything but ordinary. Minute 1. The first bioactive compounds reach the lining of your mouth and begin to be absorbed even during the initial digestion. Your body recognizes these molecules as natural anti-inflammatory agents and immediately starts to respond. Minute 15. In your stomach, the fruit's flavonoids activate enzymes that reduce the production of inflammatory substances. It's like the body starts putting out small fires, especially in sensitive tissues like the prostate. Minute 30. Your circulation begins to respond. The blood vessels in your pelvic region, once stiff, constricted, and blocked, start to relax slightly. Blood begins to flow more freely, and that small shift changes everything. More oxygen, more nutrients, more life where there used to be stagnation. Hour 1. Your liver kicks in, processing the active compounds and sending them to strategic areas. One of those compounds targets the prostate, acting directly on swollen cells, reducing inflammation, and easing urinary flow. Hour 6. You start to notice a slight difference. Your bladder feels lighter. Urine flows more easily. The constant urge to go to the bathroom starts to fade, and at the same time, there's something new in the air, like your body is finally catching its breath. Hour 12. The vasodilating effects reach your genital system more intensely. Penile blood flow improves. The erectile tissues start to receive blood more easily, setting the stage for firmer, more spontaneous erections. This isn't magic. It's simply your body returning to the way it was designed to work. Hour 18. The pressure on your bladder keeps decreasing. That constant discomfort disappears. Your mental clarity improves. And for the first time in a long while, your intimate energy returns, naturally, effortlessly, without tricks or chemicals. Hour 24. The prostate is no longer blocking the flow. Pelvic tissues are better oxygenated. Your parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for triggering erections, starts working with renewed precision. And everything that once felt distant, weakened, or lost begins to rebuild itself, with one key detail, naturally. That's why so many men are surprised by the power of something so simple. Because when you target the right root cause, the results come quickly, and they make sense. Alvaro wasn't the kind of man who complained. He was a truck driver for over 30 years. He raised 3 children, lost his wife early, and learned to handle everything on his own. But in recent months, what he had been trying to ignore was starting to weigh him down inside. It wasn't just fatigue. It was that constant feeling of emptiness. He couldn't sleep through the night anymore. He'd wake up 4 or 5 times, always with a full bladder and a weak stream that barely relieved the pressure. During the day, the exhaustion kept building up, and when he tried to be intimate, he felt ashamed. Not because he didn't want to, but because his body wasn't responding. One day, almost by accident, he heard a radio interview about a fruit with direct effects on the prostate and penile circulation. He wasn't a juice guy, never went to farmers markets. But that day he bought it, ate it exactly as recommended. No big expectations, almost like he was just going through the motions. But what happened that night surprised even him. For the first time in months, Alvaro slept through the night. No waking up every hour, no uncomfortable urgency, no getting out of bed. In the morning, it wasn't the alarm clock that woke him. It was something he hadn't felt in a long time. A strong, spontaneous, firm erection. He sat there in silence, on the edge of the bed, in disbelief. His body was there, back, present. Throughout the week, he kept up the routine with the fruit, and the results kept showing. Urination became easier. His mood improved. Confidence returned. And what he thought he had lost forever, that sense of power, control, and vitality, came back without needing anything other than what his own body could already offer. Alvaro started smiling at the mirror again, not because he felt young again, but because he had reclaimed what truly matters, the feeling of being fully alive. You already understand how it works. You've seen the impact on blood vessels, sleep, the prostate, and erection. But one question still hasn't been answered. What fruit is this, after all? Cranberry. Yes, that small, red, slightly tart fruit, often associated with women's urinary health. What most people don't know is that cranberry has a unique affinity for male prostate tissue, and when used the right way, it becomes a powerful ally in restoring urinary flow and sexual performance after the age of 60. The secret lies in a compound called type A proanthocyanidin, a natural anti-inflammatory that reduces prostate swelling, relaxes the smooth muscles of the urinary tract, and improves vascular response in the pelvic region. It also inhibits bacterial adhesion in the urinary tract, which helps reduce infections that further aggravate prostate issues. But you can't just eat any cranberry in any way and expect results. To get real, fast effects, you need a strategy. The most effective form is 100% pure cranberry juice, with no added sugar, no preservatives, and no mixing with other fruits. Take 2 servings a day, one in the turi, morning on an empty stomach, and one in the evening about an hour before bed. Each serving should be between 150 and 200 ml. If you prefer to eat the fruit fresh or dried, be careful. Most dried cranberries on the market contain added sugar or vegetable oil, so choose organic options and limit the portion to half a cup per day. If you can't find the fruit, there's still the option of concentrated cranberry extract in capsule form, as long as it's standardized and contains a high concentration of proanthocyanidins. In those cases, make sure the dose contains at least 36 mg of the active compound per day. That's the minimum studied for therapeutic effect. Ideally, combine cranberry with an anti-inflammatory, circulation-boosting diet, leafy greens, fatty fish, olive oil, and sources of zinc. Avoid, at least during the first few weeks, ultra-processed foods, cured meats, and excessive alcohol. These all sabotage the fruit's effects in your body. Many men report improvements within the first 24 hours, but continuous use for 3 to 6 weeks is what transforms a temporary boost into a lasting shift in how your body operates. It's like teaching your system to remember how it worked before the inflammation. And the most powerful part? This isn't about taking something just to trigger a temporary erection. It's about giving your body back its natural ability to respond to desire, with strength, firmness, and control. There are 2 moments in a man's life that mark a turning point. The first is when he realizes something's wrong, but still tries to ignore it. The second is when he finally understands that his body is asking for help and decides to listen. If you've made it this far, chances are you've been through both. Maybe you've felt that silent frustration, wanting it, but not being able to, trying to convince yourself it's normal, that it's just part of aging. But deep down, something told you, this isn't right. What you saw in this video wasn't a magic formula. It was a path, natural, accessible, backed by science, and most importantly, possible. You no longer have to live adapting to limitations. You don't have to accept insomnia, weak flow, or lack of response as your new normal. Because when blood starts flowing again, when the prostate decompresses, when your body remembers how to function, you start to recognize yourself again. Vitality is not lost. It was just asleep, waiting for the right trigger. And sometimes, all your body needs is something as simple as a glass of juice in the morning. That's where true change begins, when you choose to take care of yourself, even without pain. When you act before the system breaks down. When you understand that power isn't just about erections, it's about energy, clarity, and strength in every sense of the word. If this video helped you see things in a new light, I invite you now to take the next step. Subscribe to the channel. Here, you'll find real, honest content designed especially for men who want to age with autonomy and strength. Like this video, it helps more men find this kind of information. And check out the other videos on the channel. There's much more waiting for you, with practical, natural guidance to strengthen your body, restore your confidence, and live more fully. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I'll see you in the next video.